This is a video that you never would have expected to happen. But my God, man, I am so happy that it is. Welcome to version 7.1.0 in Pixel Gun 3D. I am finally able to play on this old update once again. And in today's video, I am going to show you guys weapons that have since been removed from this game, using them in all of their glory. There's a very good chance you're going to learn about weapons that you never knew existed in Pixel Gun 3D, weapons like the Skeleton Sword, or maybe even weapons like the Chain Thunderbolts. But you're going to learn firsthand that there were weapons in Pixel Gun 3D 5 years ago that no longer exist. Now listen closely, guys. I plan to upload a way to download version 7.1.0. If this video hits 2,000 likes, I will upload that video on December 14th, okay? So make sure to leave your supports on this video, leave a like, and I will explain on December 14th how you guys can get this version of Pixel Gun 3D yourself, have enough coins to purchase every single thing in this game, and use it once again in all of its glory. Again, I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. This is a very special Pixel Gun 3D video on a version that's very near and dear to my heart. Subscribe for more Pixel Gun 3D content, especially content on version 7.1.0. And let's jump into this video. Alright guys, so starting things off, the very first weapon I want to show you guys is the Deadly Candy. Now the Deadly Candy has forever been one of my favorite weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. It was very unique at its time, being the very first shotgun added into this game, and this one was very, very powerful. I mean, seriously, this thing was usually a one-shot headshot, and back then, in 2014 Pixel Gun 3D, that was absolutely unheard of. Nevertheless, this weapon was also the very first Christmas weapon added into this game, added in God knows how long ago, but it really put us into that Christmas spirit, and I get so overjoyed whenever I see this thing, because it takes me back to the days when I used to play this, like, in Christmas 2014. Those were the good times, man, and this weapon brought me a lot of really good memories. If you want to see more gameplay with the Deadly Candy, you can check out my video linked down below in the description, where I did my very first review of this weapon, and it's a world different from this one. However, we must continue, and the next weapon I want to show you guys from version 7.1.0 is a long-forgotten second upgrade of the Armageddon. Now, the Armageddon, that classic red rocket launcher that shoots out 4 shots, isn't its own separate weapon. Back long, long ago, it was the third upgrade of the original rocket launcher, the Apocalypse 3000. And the middle upgrade, the most forgotten upgrade, was the nuclear launcher. A bright yellow, very powerful rocket launcher that absolutely annihilated everybody that it came in contact with. I love that cool little biohazard logo on the side of this thing, that bright yellow color that strikes fear into the enemies that it comes in contact with. And I don't know what to tell you other than this was like the OG OP weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. If you had this thing, you were set, you were going to win, you were going to have a great time. So, if you ever get the chance to use this thing once again, in a future update in Pixel Gun 3D, get it, because it's going to bring you a lot of really cool memories from the olden days of Pixel Gun 3D. Moving onwards and upward, the third weapon that I want to show you guys is the original upgrade of the Wizard Wand that we have nowadays. The Wizard Wand here looks very different from the Wizard Wand that we know nowadays, and it actually performs very different. As you can see, if you were to upgrade this again, it would turn into the Wizard Wand that we know nowadays, but back then it was called the Arc Image Dragon Wand. Now this weapon performed very differently from the Wizard Wand that we know now. This weapon shot through walls. And it also made it so you didn't even really need to aim at the enemy player, and you could still generally hit them, especially in multiplayer servers where there was a decent amount of ping. It didn't have area damage, it had infinite ammo, and it was generally a one-shot kill. If you want to see my Arc Image Dragon Wand review on this thing, it was just the most OP weapon ever back in the day, and it's a really crazy thing to use once again. I'm super happy to use this thing once again in Pixel Gun 3D. Hey! But let's continue on here. The fourth weapon that I want to show you guys is another shotgun, and this weapon is the Golden Mega Destroyer. Now, the Crystal Mega Destroyer The third upgrade of this is rare enough in and of itself in modern day Pixel Gun 3D. You can't get the Crystal Mega Destroyer anymore, and you haven't been able to for years, okay? But the Golden Mega Destroyer is on a whole nother level of rarity. I don't think anybody has this anymore, because probably everybody that had any type of Mega Destroyer automatically had it upgraded to the Crystal version whenever they finally took away the Golden and the Mega versions. But this thing looks so cool. I like this millions of times more than the Crystal version, and it just is such a unique and different weapon to have. That reload animation was so advanced for its time, and it was just such a joy to use this back in the day. Golden Mega Destroyer was where it's at in 2014 Pixel Gun 3D. I love it. You loved it if you had it back then, and it's always going to stay as one of my favorite weapons in this game. We're already almost halfway through this video, and the fifth weapon that I want to show you guys is the second upgrade of the original SWAT rifle. Now, we might remember the Elite rifle. This weapon was the OG rifle that was one of the first ones we got in 2013, 2014, 2015 Pixel Gun 3D. And this one upgraded into the Spec Ops Rifle. I gotta tell you, this looks cooler than the modern day SWAT rifle in Pixel Gun 3D. I'm just putting it out there. This thing had such a nice firing sound. It was all suppressed. One of the first ones to be like that in Pixel Gun 3D. Had that cool laser sight, which for whatever reason isn't showing up right. Oh yes, it is. There it is. It's kind of hidden. You see it though when you reload, as you'll see right there. And it just was such a cool looking modern day weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. Maybe some of you guys don't think it's the coolest looking one in the world, but I really liked it. And that's why I'm showing it to you all in this video, because it's super rare, forgotten, and practically no one other than the OGs in Pixel Gun 3D remember this thing. That's another weapon in and of itself right here. Little bonus halfway through the video. This used to be a weapon you could pick up in Pixel Gun 3D. The AK-48s that we know nowadays looked very different back then. It had a really cool little lever on the front part of the gun, and this is another forgotten weapon that we don't remember anymore. However, let's actually continue on with this video here. Another weapon I want to show you guys that you might have completely forgotten is the middle upgrade of the Fast Death. The Golden Fast Death. This was cool, man. This was a golden pistol, and I loved the Crystal Fast Death back then. I don't really like it that much nowadays, but back then, this thing was just all spray and pray. It was just infinite firepower, and this was that go-to backup weapon that everybody used. I don't know of anybody else using any other type of backup weapon back in 2014, and if you played Pixel Gun back then, you can relate. You can side with me in me saying that this was the most popular weapon you could probably get in 2014, aside from the automatic Peacemaker. I love this thing. It was such a fun weapon to use, and it's going to stay in my hearts as probably one of my favorite backup weapons in this game. Hey, let's keep going, right? Okay, so the next weapon I want to show you guys is not one of my favorite weapons in this game. This is something called the Cactus Sword, and it was the upgrade of the Christmas Sword. Both of those names might be very unfamiliar to you if you're a new Pixel Gun 3D player, because I believe the Christmas Sword has been out for a very, very long time, but removed from the game, and the Cactus Sword has even been removed for longer. The Cactus Sword kinda was super ugly. I don't know what else to tell you. It was super difficult to use melee weapons back in the day. As you can see, you had to stand basically still, and in a map like survival mode, well, you were probably going to die, as I will do in just a second, I feel like. It was pretty ugly. It wasn't that powerful, but it was one of the most forgotten weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, and it is worthy of talking about in this video. Let's continue on. Another weapon I want to show you guys is something called the Angry Reptile. I used it in some of my thumbnails of my very oldest Pixel Gun 3D videos, and I've gotten comments on those videos from people asking, what is that weapon that you had in the thumbnail? Well, the Razor Thrower wasn't orange back then, it was yellow, and then it upgraded into the Angry Reptile. I like this more than the Razor Thrower. I don't know about you, but having some type of razor shooting alligator type of weapon is really freaking cool. I don't know what else to say. This was probably one of the coolest special weapons back in the day. It was one of the very first weapons that had a travel time back in that day, so that's something pretty significant. And it was really nice for making YouTube thumbnails, because if you wanted to get a picture of a map, this thing took up the least amount of space on your screen. Had a very slow reload, but it was super powerful, and I loved using this thing, specifically in like Silent School and Pool Party and some of those close range maps, because this thing absolutely devastated the enemy players. We have 2 weapons left, and one of the weapons that I want to show you guys is the original automatic Peacemaker. Yes, the automatic Peacemaker wasn't originally red. It was yellow, and then you could upgrade it to it being orange. And guess what? You couldn't upgrade it to it being red back in the day. Yes, that was all you had. Yellow and orange. The red version that we have nowadays didn't even exist, okay? And it worked so much better than the automatic Peacemaker we have now. As a matter of fact, it worked better than any of the miniguns we have now. Nowadays, you have to hold down the firing button, wait for it to charge up, and then it starts firing. Well, with the automatic Peacemaker back then, it instantly started firing the second you press that button, and it would just annihilate everybody. This, with the fast death, were the 2 weapons everybody had back then. Every single match that you went into had both the automatic Peacemaker and the fast death, and they were the perfect combination for back in 2014. And very last, my friends, the very last weapon I want to show you all in today's video is a special weapon called the Tesla Generator. Now, this might look pretty familiar to the high voltage nowadays. That's because this was the origin to the high voltage, and it turned into the Chain Thunderbolt, which has a special place in my heart as one of the very first weapons I ever used in a YouTube video where I actually did a lot of editing. I did a montage, and it's the only montage to ever exist on my channel where I used the Chain Thunderbolts. And it didn't get any views, which made me very sad back in 2014 because I spent so many hours trying to edit that simple montage. But it was so cool having this little Tesla lightning bolt firing weapon. I personally think the Chain Thunderbolt was even cooler with that cool yellow color. And I mean, look at how much it devastates the enemies in survival mode. It was such a cool weapon to use, and I wish they had this alongside the high voltage nowadays. Alas, we don't have it, but we can still use it in version 7.1.1. And that's what you guys should do after you watch my tutorial. We're basically finished with this video. I just want to mention, as I said in the intro to this video, I am going to be posting a walkthrough on how you guys can get this for your Android device yourself. If you ever wanted to use any of these OG and removed weapons from Pixel Gun 3D, watch out for my video uploading on, I believe it's December 14th. Keep that in mind, all right? Mark that down on your calendar because it's a super simple way that you can finally get these old versions to Pixel Gun 3D once again and live in their glory once again. I really hope you all did enjoy this video. If you guys did, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like rating down below for me finally showing you guys gameplay in a version of Pixel Gun 3D that we all knew and loved back long, long ago. Subscribe to the channel for more OG Pixel Gun 3D content. I can definitely do more showcasing some of the other weapons that are removed from this because, hey, I mean, just taking a scan through the shop here, some of these weapons no longer exist. And you guys can see for yourself, some of these things no longer exist in Pixel Gun 3D, and I can definitely do like a part 2 to this video. So just let me know down below, and I can definitely do that. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.